Greetings, friends. Happy Tuesday. The word for today is transmission, and this word is directly taken from the Sabian symbol for today, which is of a group of students receiving teachings of inner knowledge. And this inner knowledge becomes the foundation for which they together collectively build a new world. So it's receiving information and understandings and insights and wisdom teachings that enable you to work with your group, which was brought forward yesterday with the campfire, to work with your collective to understand new principles and new beliefs, to receive new beliefs about the way the world works so that you can create new realities. And this is an interesting timing because we're all experiencing this shift in new potentials coming out of the eclipse, and also the challenge we've been given to show up as leaders and to explore what leadership means. So I love this symbol on many levels, and I've been working with it this morning out of the message that I pulled in my morning practice, and then going to the Sabian really helped me understand. So what I'd like to do before I share the spread with you is just bring forward the teachings around the card for leadership, which is the Emperor. And interestingly, this is one of the two paths that we are exploring in our Pathwork study group, which meets tomorrow night. So I was sitting with this card yesterday in preparation for tomorrow night's circle. And a really important teaching of this path on the tree, which is, for those of you who know the tree, it's the path from Chokhmah, above the veil, which is a path of light coming into the world, force, the expression of wisdom, and the force of, in a healthy way, the transmission of light and creative energy and creative power, which is this fire shown in this card. And then Chokhmah on this path, on the 15th path, goes to Tipperet, which is the inner sun at the center of the tree. So the path of leadership on the tree, this path of leadership, has to do with the ability to fully receive the light and the force and pure potential, and work with the transmission of pure potential into a signature of leadership. Meaning, how do we learn to interface pure potential in the way the universe works and then transmit it in personal ways to ourselves and to each other? The key principle here that's brought forward in the symbol is that true leadership, the Hebrew word letter for this path is He, which means window. So the key principle and archetype for leadership here is the transparency of a window. A window provides a structure, provides a form, and then paradoxically, it's transparent to allow light to pass through. So an authentic leadership is based on the principle of transmitting light to others without it being attached to the form of the teacher. So the shadow aspect of leadership is when a person becomes the attachment of the leader, and the highest aspect of leadership is when the leader is the transmitter of understanding and light, so everyone can receive that light and then have their own access to it. So in Montessori philosophy, we call teachers guides because they are really facilitators, helping to connect each person, each being, to their own inner light. So, long discussion, but it completely was brought forward in this morning's Sabian. Rudyard's commentary specifically references this quality of authentic leadership, which is the transmission of the seed ideas to the students receiving them. So all of us in this realm are students right now. We are being challenged in the earth changes and in this time to assume responsibility for ourselves and step out of old patterns of waiting to be rescued. And that has been, it happens in multiple levels. It's something we talk a lot about in Mystery School. So if you're listening to this message today, I invite you to hold curiosity about how you can assume your own authority for your path and receive the teachings that come to you from guidance of all forms of leadership, and then assume your own responsibility for what those teachings mean, and then collaborate with others to move forward, because the group is really important right now. All the Sabian right now, as we've moved into Libra, are about work with groups, and you get to choose your groups. So the spread for today, when I was asking earlier what we need to know today about the planetary energies, the card in circumstances is the card in circumstances from the new moon for this lunar cycle, which is the Knight of Swords, which is the capacity to rise above circumstances and have a new perspective. Today, what will enable you to do that is the Seven of Discs failure reverse, which is the release of old ideas about the way things are. So this refers to that quality of solar illumination today, which is the opportunity to receive new teachings and new understandings about the way the world works in order to fully participate in change. The sevens represent change and times of uncertainty that are related to processes of growth, which we are obviously connected to right now. And then the card in the position of Spirit, another knight, the Knight of Wands, indicating that there's an infusion of vitality today related to this quality of connection to fundamental truth and receiving the source, receiving the flow, receiving the vitality of new insights and new understandings and new creative possibilities. The knight came up reversed to me. And my message, it doesn't represent blockage. It represents a reminder that this comes now from within, and that to take the flow within before you act externally. That's part of the astrology of this lunar cycle, that there's a lot of force, a lot of power, a lot of energy coming through. And what's necessary is to align that energy within before taking action. Shadow side of Knight of Wands is to be rash and to feel the infusion of force and then burst forward without getting aligned, and to be reactionary even from positive impulsive inspiration. So remember not to be rash, but to sit with the potentials and the vitality and then make decisions. And I drew a final card. This was super interesting. The final card was Princess of Swords, upright, which says, yes, from this inner awareness, your ability to move within and receive the force of new potentials and new ideas, you have the opportunity to release old ideas of reality. And that's by working within and choosing to align with your heart in order to claim new perspectives. And that is what this inner warrior of the princess is, what enables you to shift your beliefs based on new ideas and new understandings. So I loved the teaching today. I drew a couple of cards personally after this spread to ask how this spread can, any practical guidance for me in bringing this spread into my own circumstances on a personal level right now. And I received an amazing teaching. So I invite you, whatever your practices of connecting with guidance, whether it's I Ching or cards or using synchronicity in your circumstances as an oracle, whatever your way of connecting with messages for the day, I invite you to ask today how you can be supported in connecting with new understandings of knowledge and your ability to your inner authority and to new realizations of how the universe works, so that you can step to a new level of co-creation. Have a great day. Remember, the word for today is transmission. There is unlimited access right now to the new possibilities for which we as a collective can, to which we as a collective can contribute. And the universe, and as Abraham says, all the fairies of the universe are lining up to support you right now. So I invite you to hold curiosity for the transmissions that you will receive, and have a really great day.